Welcome back to episode 43 of A People's Guide to Publishing, your home for two people talking over tea.
About publishing. Sometimes
most of the time.
I'm Ellie Blue. I'm the editorial and marketing director here at Microcosm. And
I am Joe Beal, your host and author of A People's Guide to Publishing and the founder and CEO of Microcosm Publishing. Today, this week, in this episode, we are going to talk about a much maligned, much confused subject, Kickstarter. Many publishers have told me very untrue, very confusing things that they believe or have heard about Kickstarter.
It's not owned by Amazon.
So what
Just putting that out there.
Thank you, Captain Interruptus. What is Kickstarter?
So Kickstarter is a company that it's a tech company based in New York, and they are a platform for crowdfunding creative projects. Mm-hmm. It can be anything from your dance troops tour to the widget that you made to go with your Apple Watch to your zine to your book. And we have used it to crowdfund probably about 50 books between us. Mm-hmm. We've run, I would say, around 50 successful projects and one unsuccessful project. Two, you're right.
Yeah, it was some dark times. But, you roll past it. So, what are the biggest misconceptions about Kickstarter?
That's a good question. First, I'm going to talk about how it works, though.
Well, I guess you can be an obstinate interviewee.
Hey, I'm used to being on the other side of this. You might need to warm me up a little or ask better questions.
I can understand.
All right, I'll answer your question. I'll rise to the challenge. What are the most common misconceptions about Kickstarter? For the first most common misconception is that it's like begging for money. Mm-hmm. And really, honestly, that it's about money at all. I mean, it is. Money is important. We sell books for money. It's not unfortunately, that is the economy that we have inherited and that we are doing our best with. What Kickstarter is an amazing way to pre-sell books and to reach the right audience for the book and also to test your concept and marketing for that book. Mm-hmm. So I would say it's a very powerful marketing tool that you get paid to use.
And when does that ever happen in life?
Really hardly ever. At events, I guess.
It is fascinating because even some of my friends, and many publishers have said to me that it is a bad look that we need to raise money on Kickstarter. We have had publishers refuse to extend lines of credit to us because we are fundraising and they are afraid that we will go out of business. I have had to send our annual bank records to people to show them that is not the case whatsoever. And I have been told that Kickstarter is not for people like you. It's for people that are creating things, which is a very fascinating set of word choices.
I mean, and it does make me think that one of the biggest dirty secrets in publishing is that books cost money and that... Wait,
what?
Yeah.
Do you have a citation on that?
Not just to for the consumer to buy them, but for us to create them, they cost money.
Right.
This is okay. You don't have to be ashamed. It happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm. And we do have a book coming out, Dr. Faith Harper's Unfuck Your Worth, yes, which will help you to reconcile your feelings about money and use Kickstarter.
But the thing that kind of goes hand in hand with that is that books need readers, or what's the point? And Kickstarter is an incredibly awesome platform for finding readers.
Yes.
It's really, I would say, running a well-tuned, kind of conservatively gold Kickstarter project. It might not make all your operating expenses for the book, and that's okay, but it will help you pre-sell books, and it will teach you a lot. I'm a big fan of this platform. We do 10 to 12 Kickstarter projects a year. 12 in theory, 10 in reality. Mm-hmm. And we choose books that we know have the potential to reach a greater audience than we already know how to reach ourselves.
The way I put it on Saturday, which is not born in any actual metric, but was just something I pulled out of my ass on the spot when I was speaking in public, is that we use Kickstarter to reach 200 other people to buy the book that wouldn't have heard about it otherwise. They would not have walked into a bookstore and found it. They would not have gone to our website and bought it. They would not have run into us at an event and purchased it. It it's like 200 more readers.
Depending on.
But I just made that up, so that is not an actual metric.
I would say between 20 and 50% more.
Right, because obviously sometimes we do go vastly beyond that into the thousands.
And I would say, like, yeah, like, it's not just about selling them that one book either. Like, when they get that book, they also get our catalog, and some of them become our readers for life. Like, some people only want to back our books on Kickstarter, and that's how they want to interact with us, and they back every Kickstarter project. It's wonderful. Thank you. There's other people that find us once on Kickstarter and then start ordering directly from us, or start getting our books from their library or their independent bookstore.
Or experience us only on audiobook, or however they do.
Yeah.
You know, it's great.
It is. It's like a way to expand your community. And that's really, I feel like, what crowdfunding is at its heart, is a way to strengthen and expand your community.
It's a way for people to find out about what you're doing, and if it's for them, that wouldn't have found it through the other ways that they had the option to do so.
There's a lot of good information online about how to run a Kickstarter, so we won't get into that, but I would like to say that Kickstarter workers are working to unionize, and their management is pushing back. What the heck, Kickstarter? We thought you were way cooler than that. In fact, I think you used to be.
Yeah, it is. There is a moment in all young companies' lives, and Kickstarter is a young company, make no mistake, where the values are lost touch with, and people forget that what they're all about. So we will hope that Kickstarter will remember what they're about and get back to business.
And if you do want to use Kickstarter, we strongly suggest that you look up Kickstarter United, the union effort, and they have a lot of great ways to support them listed on there, from ways to run your project and social media to people to get in touch with at the company. So
cool.
Yay, unions. Yay, Kickstarter.
This has been A People's Guide to Publishing, episode 43. And I am your host, Joe Beal, the autistic publisher and author of A People's Guide to Publishing, the book.
And I'm Ellie Blue, marketing director. I run our Kickstarters. We're about to launch one for Dr. Faith's book, Unfuck Your Worth, so you can get to know Kickstarter and deal with your money emotions at the same time.
Due to time delays on the researching and publication of these programs, Dr. Faith's Unfuck Your Worth is funding now.
Unless you're watching this way in the future, and then you can still get the book.
And then it already happened, and then you just go to microcosm.pub and search for Unfuck Your Worth, and then you find a million other things you want to buy.
We are not ashamed to take your money.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Till next week, where we review our annual reports.
Woo!
Okay. Thanks so much for joining us once again on A People's Guide to Publishing, the podcast. I am your host, Joe Beal, the autistic publisher.
I'm Ellie Blue, the editor who doesn't pay attention to commas.
And please send us your questions so we can answer them on future episodes. And please do give us those reviews on iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are reviewed. 5 stars, if you please. And have a wonderful week.
Thank you. You can find us on the internet at microcosmpublishing.com or microcosm.pub if you want to keep it short and simple. You can also find us on Twitter at Microcosm, on Facebook at Microcosm Publishing, on Instagram at microcosm_pub, and here in Portland on North Williams Avenue.
Thank you so much.